Beautiful day here in Jacksonville, Alabama. Gridiron Challenge continues, brought to you by Dunn's Heating and Cooling. We will continue with a matchup here of Central Clay, the Volunteers, taking on the Gardendale Rockets as we get set for the second half of the trifecta. We got one more game following this one, but John, we saw Central Clay, and as you and I are watching the Gardendale Rockets warm up, I'm going to tell you that is a good-looking group of athletes on the field right there.
Yeah, it's a 6A team, and they look every bit the part of a 6A team. Interesting what's going on here. Clay Central's already warmed up. So what Danny Horn did is he took his team underneath the stands here on the home side where it's nice and cooler, and they just now are coming back on the field because they've already warmed up. They've been playing for a half. Gardendale is yet to warm up yet. So Gardendale has been the only team really to come out here and warm up. As we said, Clay Central right now just coming in under this middle tunnel here around the 50-yard line as they work their way onto the field. Gardendale out there has already been warming up, but Clay Central at this point in time, having already played a half, they're just kind of walking and jogging across the end zone, and that's going to, it looks like, be the extent of their warm-ups. They've been through that process. Gardendale now makes their way over to the sideline. There's going to be a lot of talent. Tommy, I just tell you right now, looking at, we've already seen Clay Central, and looking over there at Gardendale, there's going to be a lot of talent in this field. And the thing that impressed us watching Gardendale warm up during the break, they have some, as we say in the South, some big old boys.
I'm telling
over
you,
there for Gardendale. Wow.
There are some hogs up front, and that's the thing that is really evident when they come out offensively. And number 60, Micah Gibson, one of those. Matt Holly, a junior. Those guys come out on the field, and I'm going to tell you, your eyes just open wide because
Tanner Pope, number 69, over there too. Wow.
Look at that. I mean, you go on, and you know, you look at this team from Gardendale. They finished the regular season 6-3. They lose on a last-second field goal to Muscle Shoals in the first round of the playoffs last year. They've made the playoffs 4 straight seasons, 5 of the last 6, and again, 2 of those trips to the 6A quarterfinals. But the Rockets, you know, they keep again going down in wins for the last few seasons, and a coaching change, and they bring over a guy that knows a lot about winning football.
Yeah, Chad Eads comes over from being with Josh Niblett at Hoover as their offensive line coach, 11 seasons over there. Matt Plunkett left and went back to his alma mater up at Coleman in the offseason, so going through a coaching change. And one thing I had to point out about Gardendale, too, we mentioned last year only falling there at the very last Muscle Shoals by 3 points. That region they play in with eventual state champion Pinson Valley in that region, Clay Chalkville in that region. I mean, they play in one of the tougher 6A regions in the state, and that region's not getting any easier now. They still got all those folks in there, your Clay Chalkvilles, and you got you know, your defending state champion Pinson Valley still in that region. Now you're bringing Oxford in there, a team that was ranked number 2 in the state and was undefeated and was 13-0 heading into the game where they lost to Clay Chalkville there, 12-0 as they lost to Clay Chalkville in the quarterfinals. So, I mean, they are battle-tested as well. Here comes some of those big guys from Gardendale walking out across the 50-yard line here. You see what Tommy and I are talking about as you see these 2 guys coming out for the coin toss. And, I mean, their backs are huge.
Yeah, they are got plenty of size as they come out here and meet there at the coin toss out there at midfield. But, you know, you talk about the region they were in last year, 6-3 on the season. A good season, but just to make the playoffs out of that region, that is like the SEC West, really, when you look at 6A football.
And they proved once you got in the playoffs, even though they only lost to Muscle Shoals, it was a close game, 23-20 right there at the end. That region obviously went on and proved that they could stand toe-to-toe with anybody in the state of Alabama, really anybody in that region over in Metro Birmingham.
Yeah, and you look at the region they're going to have this year, again, Huffman, Pell City, Clay Chalkville. Again, DJ Dale, the defensive lineman for Clay Chalkville, is just a warrior. Pinson Valley, Shades Valley, and Oxford. That is going to be another tough region schedule for Gardendale. So we'll check that out a little bit later on as the teams have met there for the coin toss, and we'll get things underway here momentarily. Gardendale.
Looks like they are like Clay Central. They may even have more dressed out than Central Clay.
Yeah,
I think you
so.
said 82 players. There may be 90 players or so dressed out over there for Gardendale. They're deep in cheerleaders, too. I counted 27 cheerleaders here from Gardendale. So, I mean, they have big numbers everywhere throughout the program, up and down. And I think they set the world record, I think, for coolers over there. If you look behind their bench, they brought in about a dozen coolers over there. They have a abundance of numbers and everything. And they will have the ball first here as we begin this game against Clay Central.
Yeah, we'll get things started. Cheerleaders up and ready as we get ready to crank up this half of football, and a lot of talent out there between the lines this time. Will Crowder, the quarterback for Gardendale, has been starting since the 8th grade. He is heading into his sophomore season. Or check that for Gardendale again, as he will be, yes, his sophomore season. So he's been starting for a couple of years. You got a good look at him right there. And he is really the guy that makes this offense go, and they'll spread things out to open up this half of football. 4 wideouts. They're trying to get a chain gang.
We had this problem last week, and we had this problem last night. In the last game last night, we were delayed for several minutes, and now we have I think they're also needing one of the red flags.
Yeah, so they're getting the red flag,
and try to get that over there to Coach Eads. I think he doesn't have one in case he wants to challenge.
So Clay Central considered the home field, or the home team, so they will run the chains. A couple of buddies of mine called into duty. Broadcasting buddy's going to go over there and run some chains for the first.
Yeah, make sure we have that red instant replay challenge flag too over there. They hand that off to head coach Eads over there.
All right, we'll get things started. Crowder going to hand it off first play. Nothing doing in the backfield. He'll slip down. There's Jacob Wright on the carry. He'll lose about a half yard. Davion Phillips rather, up to apply the pressure.
One little advantage in this game that Clay Central may have is they have a half under their belt playing on this turf. You saw the player fall down there for Gardendale. They don't have that experience.
Over to the left and handoff. Big gain, 10, 12, out to midfield goes Jacob Wright on that one. Ran the same play the other way. He planted the foot this time. It did not slide out from under him, and he's able to carry it forward. We've got a player down for Clay Central. That is going to be number 4, Dwayne Garrett. Looks like his helmet was knocked off. We'll get out there and check him out.
So he'll have to come out anyway because of the stoppage in play and because he lost his helmet. And he had his bell rung pretty good.
Maybe a hit in the nose, something like that. Looks like he's getting checked out there by team doctor Alan Ogles.
16-yard gain on that play on second down. You made a good point there. Is right. The first time he slipped down and had a yard loss. That time he was very deliberate in planting that foot into the turf and then making the cut and going.
Crowder with 5 wideouts this time, steps back and throws it. The catch is going to be made, and J.D. McNeely on the stop, but a good catch out here, and that is going to be caught by, is that 15?
Bailey Parsons.
Yeah, Parsons on the catch there. That's a good-looking tight end as well, or a slot receiver wherever he goes. That's a big target. Second down and about 6 for the Rockets. Gives it again, coming to the near side, hit and drop down back at the 48-yard line. That is right on the carry. Shamari Simmons makes the stop.
Anthony Valdez over there as well. Good defensive stop for Clay Central. I'll tell you, Coach Eads list Parsons at 5'6", 165. I think maybe a little bit small there.
Third down and about 8. Crowder back. Good throw out here and a better catch. That is a nice snag out here by Stephen Lewis. He'll be spun out of bounds, but he's got the first down to the Volunteer 38-yard line.
And we've got a flag on the play. I don't know if this is going to be a hold or roughing the quarterback. We'll see what the call is here. It's like it's going to be a hold on Gardendale.
Well,
no, a personal foul, roughing the
passer.
Well,
yeah.
That was my first inclination, but then some of the body language there, maybe he was given maybe a holding signal, but then he comes back in and says this is a roughing the passer.
That's a big one.
That's going to be tacked on to the end, so he had some good yards anyway on the out pass, and then tacking 15 to that puts it down inside the 25.
Yeah, it moves it all the way down to about the 22-yard line. Gardendale impressive here in the opening. Hugo Sandoval, as he's in at a defensive end. Looks like the Vols going with a 4-man front. The give right up the middle, and the carry that time. Jason Brooks will pick up a couple of yards. We saw the Vols in a 3-man front the entire first game. Right here, they are employing a 4-man front. J.D. McNeely on the stop there. So we'll say second down and about 9 for the Rockets. Will Crowder takes it and drops back, and he's looking in the end zone, throws it down. Catch is made. My goodness, what an adjustment in the as he will bring it in. Garrett was on the coverage, but a great catch in the end zone, and still down after making the catch there.
Well, that was Jonah Wright.
Yeah.
Wright is down in the back of the end zone. He is holding his leg, it looks like, favoring
You
this.
see right here, Crowder looking at him all the way, and he just delivers a perfectly thrown football. And
oh, wow.
Oh, that's not good the way he went down in the end zone.
That is, wow. That's tough to watch right there.
Yeah.
The good news is he's moving that. Good shot by our camera crews here. He is moving that, but the way he fell on that, wasn't really much of the defender, just the kind of the way he landed.
Right.
And you could see that knee kind of turn into that whole leg, really the lower leg turned into a really awkward position there. Thankfully, he looks like he's okay. They're out there moving that leg. Get a different look at it from field level. Just a really nice throw here. Nice connection, nice route running, going high at the highest point to get the ball. And then look at that right there where his,
yeah,
oh, wow.
You're not supposed to be in that way. That's tough.
That is, he is if he has no big problems he can consider himself a very blessed young man.
Yeah, that's, he's going to stand up under his own power now. Sure, he'll be checked out, but
he's not putting any weight on that at all.
Yeah, that was a tough way to go down after that catch.
And the trainers and so forth doing a really good job over there, but I don't see, Tommy, that he's putting any weight on that whatsoever.
No,
it's like that's his left leg.
Yeah, he's obviously in pain there, and just again, as he is helped off the field. And there's Chad Eads, obviously concern on his face as well, because you can tell by the way Wright made that play there. That is a talent offensively that he's got to be counting on for the fall.
We certainly want to wish our best to that young man. Just one of those, that's just the way football is sometimes. A lot of times the injuries are not on big hits.
Right.
They're just something where there's not really even any contact involved.
Landon Urbick, the junior, with the extra point, and he will drill it through there with no pressure, obviously. No rush on the kicking game, so 7-0. Gardendale takes the early lead here with 9:34 left in the first period. Got to be impressed with that opening drive. A good mix of pass and run for Coach Chad Eads and his Gardendale Rockets.
The big play, though, the key, Tommy, though, was that roughing the passer penalty. It was going to be second down and medium, and instead it was first down and at the 22-yard line, tacking 15 yards on to about a 6 or 7 yard gain. That one play wound up being about a 22-yard gain for Gardendale, and that was the big play in the drive.
See what the Vols can do offensively now against Gardendale, see if they can answer, as they will come out offensively.
I'll just tell you, Clay Central's a good-looking football team, but Gardendale physically, they go like a small college football team.
They really do. They are huge down in the trenches and really at every position. Good-looking size for linebackers. As Wood takes the low snap, gives it off to Quentin Knight. Knight will dive out to about the 37, so a couple of yards on that play.
Big number 68, Matt Holly. We've been talking a lot about him, just watching him in pregame warmups, and there's Holly right there to track down and make the tackle after only about a 1.5 yard gain.
So second down and about 8. The Vols have done pretty much most of their damage on the run. Shamari Simmons gets it. He'll lower his shoulder and get a couple more to the 44.
I love how these coaches list players. You know, every coach I know is like this. They always way underestimate players. Coach Eads lists Matt Holly at 5'10", 145.
Yeah, it's that would be a stretch right there. So
I don't know that he's seen 145 since he was probably in elementary school.
Right. So third down and about 6 now for the Volunteers. Again, the double wing set. Vols look to keep it on the ground. Handoff up the middle. That is Quentin Knight. He'll go out to about the 44-yard line, but he'll be shy of the first down by about a yard.
Decision time for Danny Horn here. It's going to be 4th down and about a yard to go. Exactly.
They're going to go for it. They're bringing in Jalen Bass on the offensive line. The tight end Boyd Ogles checks in as well. And J.D. McNeely comes in at a power back. So 4th and about a yard.
Gardendale with 9 guys in the box.
It'll be tough to get that yard against a 9-man front. They'll give it off in the backfield. Nope. Struggle. I don't believe he got there. Nope. They got Knight, wrapped him up in the backfield. He spun forward, but going to be shy of the first down. They'll mark it at about the 44-yard line. You see the push right here. Penetration for Gardendale. They just won the battle in the trenches that time, and they'll stop the Vols short. And now Gardendale with a short field at the 44-yard line.
Coach Horn had a challenge in the last game that he won. I don't think he wants to challenge that one.
I don't think this is time.
He's not going to win that one. And so Gardendale with excellent field position now at the Clay Central 44 to begin this drive.
So 1st down and 10 for Gardendale. They look very good offensively on that initial drive with quarterback Will Crowder. Great passes, and also were able to get some yardage on the ground as well. And you see that offensive front right there. They're getting some work done. They're in the trenches. Crowder joined in the backfield. Jason Brooks back there with him. So on 1st and 10, they fake a couple of times, and Crowder rolls back, throws it, and dropped. Looked all the time that time for Chris Boone, who came all the way across the formation. And he just couldn't hang on to it. But Crowder showing great patience. You see right here, he spots Boone, and he waits and waits and then tries to deliver at the last moment, and Boone just looked up the field before he pulled that one in, so it brings up a 2nd down and 10 now for Gardendale.
He had 2 or 3 steps on the receiver. That was going to be a big play well inside the red zone if he makes that catch.
Back to the running game, and a carry up the middle, breaking it outside and spinning forward to almost first down yardage is Jason Brooks. Powerful run there, broke about 4 tackles, and he is close to the first down. He will reach the 34-yard line. You see right here, a good cut in the hole, and then just shakes off that tackle with a spin move, then carries the defenders forward. You see him still fighting for yardage and sets up the 3rd down and about half a foot. Gardendale, of course, goes back to the run. This time, no, sir. Good defensive penetration led by Dwayne Garrett. Bass is back there as well, and Jakeem McLemore in to make the stop, and it's going to set up 4th down for Gardendale. Good penetration that time by the Vols, and J.D. McNeely also at the bottom of the pile.
Decision time now for Coach Eads, and there's really not a decision. They're going to go for it here on 4th down and 3. Gerhard Mathangani, I notice, is over on the Gardendale sideline. I think he's probably been checking in over there on the young wide receiver, Jonah Wright, who had the injury.
Big 4th down right here. Rolling out is Crowder, throws it in the flats, and the catch is made, stepping out of bounds at the 27. That is a great catch out here. All hands, Owen Cups. Let's check in with Gerhard, see what you got for us, buddy.
All right, guys, went down to the Gardendale sideline and checked out Jonah Wright as they were doing the test on him. They were doing all ligament testing on the knee. It's the left knee, as you said, guys, earlier. They were checking it out. They checked out the right knee as well. Looks like the right knee is fine. They were doing all the ligament tests on the left knee. Obviously, they can't conclude anything until after an MRI is done. But the way that it looked as they were doing the test, it did not look good. The training staff has confirmed that he is out for the game. They're icing both sides, the bottom side and the top side. But it looks like a ligament issue, and we'll see how far it is. And obviously, they won't know until an MRI, which they haven't scheduled as of right now. But fantastic catch and a great play by Jonah Wright, but he'll be out for this game.
Wow. Yeah, it didn't look good, and he is on the sideline, and our thoughts and prayers go to him. Gardendale with a handoff that time to Brooks, who has checked in the last couple of drives and has ran the ball very well. Had a good run just a moment ago, but now we're looking at 3rd down and about 3 yards to go for Gardendale, and Brooks is in there. We saw a lot of Jacob Wright in the first period. Now you're seeing a lot of Brooks since that time. And he'll get the call and hit the backfield. That's Dwayne Garrett. Finds a gap, comes in, and a loss on the play will bring up another 4th down for Gardendale. You see Garrett just coming in, read that from his linebacker spot, came crashing in, and now another 4th down. See if the Vols can come up with a stop here. But before we do, looks like we got the Heat timeout. The officials have signal for that. So a big 4th down play coming back. Gardendale leading 7-0 over Clay Central. We'll come back with more as we continue our coverage of the Gridiron Challenge, brought to you by Dunn's Heating and Cooling.
The Calhoun County Spring Jam is brought to you by Dunn's Heating and Cooling. For great residential and commercial service, upfront pricing, and dependable Bryant Heating and Cooling products, call Dunn's Heating and Cooling. Visit their showroom on Pelham Road South in Anniston. Give them a call or visit online at dunnsheatingandcooling.com.
You'll always remember the day you start at Gadsden State, the butterflies when you walk in your first college class, and you'll remember the day you finish, hold your diploma, and hug your family. But there are so many other memories in between, the instructors that inspire you, amazing skills that you master, and classmates that become lifelong friends. We want you to be a part of the memories we build together. Start it, finish it, with us at Gadsden State.
The Calhoun County Spring Jam is brought to you by Dunn's Heating and Cooling. For great residential and commercial service, upfront pricing, and dependable Bryant Heating and Cooling products, call Dunn's Heating and Cooling. Visit their showroom on Pelham Road South in Anniston. Give them a call or visit online at dunnsheatingandcooling.com.
4th down and about 7 to go for Gardendale. Trying to keep this drive alive. You see Crowder dropping back. Got pressure, steps up. He eludes the first man, and he's going to run for the 1st down and tucks it under the 15-yard line. And he will pick up the 1st down to the 13. So a couple of 4th down plays for Gardendale on this drive. Crowder gets one with his arm and one with his legs.
Tommy, with every play that goes by, I'm more and more impressed by Will Crowder, the quarterback of Gardendale. Shakes the tackle there. Look at the speed here.
Yeah, just turns it up the field and, again, picks up a block. And now sets it up 1st and 10 from about the 13.
Man, he's a great awareness, presence, great running and throwing the football both. He's a fantastic quarterback for Gardendale.
Quick hitch on the outside, needing a block out there, getting it down inside the 5 to about the 4-yard line. That is going to be Boone on that reception.
Tommy, I'd had people all in the offseason tell me, Gardendale, you better look out for Gardendale. Heard a lot about Gardendale. This is going to be a team to watch in 6A. They are, and I have, everything I heard is absolutely true so far.
Crowder leaves it up the middle for Brooks. He's fighting his way toward the end zone. He may have made his way in there. They'll say down at about the half-yard line. Jason Brooks has come in, and you got to check out now. They lost the helmet. But the thing I like about Crowder, only a sophomore, and we've seen he's really a dual threat quarterback and does a great job. And only, again, 10th grader coming up this year, so he'll be in the 10th and have 2 more years after this one.
Thank gosh, Coach Eads, I might have thrown the red flag on that one. Well, he might have gotten into the end zone there possibly.
He'll hand it off this time. I don't believe he got there that time. He'll be stopped shy again. Good defensive play there. They'll say he was down at about the half-yard line. Jacob Wright gets the carry. He's hitting the backfield. Lands on the defender. Then a scrum there. They kind of wound up in the end zone, but they'll say still stop shy. And it's going to set up a 2nd down and goal. I think you run that same play again, don't you? Hands it off, walks in this time. Jacob Wright goes in untouched. Gardendale on the board again. They take a 13-0 lead. 3:46 left in this first period.
No need to challenge the spot when you have the confidence that you're going to eventually get it in, and he walked in for the touchdown, Jacob Wright. And I'm wondering if Jacob and Jonah might possibly be brothers.
Could possibly be. Tell you what, one thing's impressive is we've seen Wright in there running the football. We've seen Brooks, and both of those guys seem to be able to get it done. The kick this time going to be off to the right. So 13-0. The score will remain with 3:46 left here in the first period of this half of football.
And Erbrick, a left-footed kicker for Gardendale.
Kind of just pulled that one off to the side, and he's going into the his 11th grade year. See what the Vols can do offensively now, as they'll take over first down and 10 at the 35-yard line against a stout Gardendale defense.
Mentioned Jonah Wright with that injury for Gardendale. He is off the table over there, but we saw some crutches being brought in for him. Not sure if I can spot him on the sidelines. They may have sent him on to the dressing room.
Yeah, that's I don't see him across the way as well. So here come the Vols offensively, trailing 13-0. See if they can get something going offensively. Javon Wood, the quarterback. Quentin Knight back there behind him. And the ball is on the turf, picked up by Woods. And Javon will move it forward, a couple of yards on that play. Just a bobbled snap there, as they were trying to give it to Shamari Simmons. A little speed sweep. And Wood very alertly just had to get back on and give what he could. So we'll see really a gain of 1, 2nd down and 9.
Size and speed at every position on defense for Gardendale. Really big and physical up front, and really big and speedy in the secondary and linebacker.
Snap is outside again. Wood couldn't get his hands on it. It's picked up by Shamari Simmons, and he will lose back to about the 27-yard line.
Gardendale defense stout enough without helping them out, and that's another big loss. That's going to be close to a 10-yard loss that time for Clay Central.
Not a bad snap. Wood just took his eye off of it, eyeing that linebacker that was crashing in, and goes right through his hands, and big loss on the play. So 3rd down and long for the Volunteers, and they're going to take a timeout and talk about it here. 2:50 left here in the first period. 13-0 our score. Gardendale on top. We'll continue in just a moment with more of the Gridiron Challenge, brought to you by Dunn's Heating and Cooling.
I'm District Judge Chris McIntyre. A great deal of my time is spent on the bench conducting felony preliminary hearings and bench trials and working to see that justice is done. But when I'm not in court, this is my whole world, my family, and I'm committed to keeping them safe. I'm Judge Chris McIntyre, committed to justice and to making Calhoun County a safer place. Please vote to re-elect me on June the 5th.
We were looking to sell our starter home and move into our dream home. After looking at all the options, we chose to work with ERA King. ERA means easy, responsive, and attention to detail. ERA King made the entire process of buying and selling a house easy. From helping us decide on a listing price to navigating the final closing, our agent worked with us every step of the way. ERA King. To us, it means always doing the right thing for every client. What will ERA mean to you? Find out at eraking.com.
Couple of miscues offensively sets up 3rd and long for the Volunteers. They'll hand it off on the inside and a gap there, but can't get past the second wave, and that on the carry that time was number 2, and that's Paul Garrett. So it's going to set up 4th down. Vols going to have to punt the football away.
Let me just tell you about body language. Bobble snap, lost yards, bobble snap, lost yards. Timeout, Clay Central. Danny Horn about 10 yards out on the field with his hat off. Not happy.
Never a good sign.
Never a good sign.
Yeah, I think that there's been a challenge issued right now because you see that, like you said, the body language of the team, and sometimes you see that basically they start to kind of hang their heads when things start going wrong, and that's something that he really wants to work. And you see the coaching staff there trying to get their troops back in it. They've given up a couple of touchdowns here to Gardendale. On back-to-back possessions, have defensively not come up with a stop yet. And so that is a big key for him, is to get that defense back on track here.
Coach Horn a little fired up with those 2 bad snaps and all that lost yardage, and puts his defense right back on the field against what has been a very efficient Gardendale offense. 2 for 2 on drives here in the first quarter.
Quick screen it out here. Catch made, positive yardage for Stephen Lewis. Jalen Bass hustling all the way from the nose guard position out here to make the stop, but not before. Lewis can pick up about 5 yards.
One thing to keep in mind, too, though, this is in essence late 3rd quarter for Clay Central. This is just late 1st quarter for Gardendale.
Crowder with the give. Good tough run on the left side. Hunter Henson, another running back for the Rockets. And you see some of the players for the Vols stepping up and indicating a cramp just a little bit. And as you said, John, this is like a 3rd period without much of a halftime.
Yeah, absolutely correct. Of course, Gardendale will face this. They'll play a half, and Lawrence County would have been off for a half when they play them, so they'll be rested and cool when they come up here in the next try game.
Speaking of cool, Crowder delivers a cool pass out here to midfield. I mean, he's just a cool customer back there. The rush is all around him. He just steps right up and delivers a bullet out here.
Crowder's just about been perfect. He had one pass that was dropped over here that was going to be a big gainer, but every throw he has made here in this first quarter has been on target. He's been just about as good as you can be a quarterback. That's very impressive in May that he's that accurate.
First down at 10. The give again to Henson. He'll try the left side and cuts it back. He'll pick up a few down to about the 43-yard line. Ball's trying to rotate some players in to give a little bit of a rest, but you see right here Henson in trouble as he spins and then goes back thanks to some great effort there and a good hit by Blake Hurd for Central Clay. The second down give back to Henson. He's got a huge hole. He is belted as he gets out. You throw the beanbag in with a fumble. That was a big hit in the secondary.
The replay
Shamari
here.
Simmons, yeah, you see this hit right here.
Ooh, yeah, it did come out, but it came right back into his hands. And Simmons brought the lumber that time, but it's right back into the hands of number 21 for Gardendale, Hunter Henson.
We'll say shy of the first down by about a half yard, so third and short. We're at about 18 seconds left in the first period. 13-0 you see there. Gardendale leading over Central Clay. And they go with a handoff, but a flag comes in.
False start on Gardendale, one of the few mistakes they've made offensively.
So from third and about a half yard, we'll go back to third and about 5.5 now. Clock at 9 seconds. Gardendale offensively very strong. I mean, that's a team that last year they continued to build their offense up and put up some great numbers last season, and they look like they're going to pick up right where they left off.
What's really impressive, you got a new coach coming in, and this is only their 10th practice, and to be this really good after only 10 practices, maybe the only bad throw, I kind of jinxed him, probably the first bad throw that we've seen Crowder make. That was a little bit low that time.
Yeah, Crowder that time could not connect, and it's going to bring up fourth down. That's going to be the end of the first period. 13-0 Gardendale leading as we will make our way to the second period of action. Continuing here with our coverage on this Saturday afternoon of the Gridiron Challenge, brought to you in part by Dunn's Heating and Cooling.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of J.D. Hess, Tim Hodges, Fred Wilson, Don Hudson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. With our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums, our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly supports the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
Historic Banning Mills is the largest and longest zipline canopy adventure in the world. It's located in your own backyard near Carrollton, Georgia. Historic Banning Mills offers over 9 miles of courses, 52 sky bridges, and over 90 different zip lines, soaring at speeds of up to 60 miles per hour and up to 3,400 feet in length. Most everyone in the family can participate, even the little ones. If that's not enough, climb the Guinness World Record's tallest freestanding rock climbing wall at 14 stories high. Historic Banning Mills also offers horseback riding, kayaking, GPS adventures, birds of prey shows, and much more. So much that you can't fit it all in one day. So stay the night or the whole weekend at their Country Inn Lodge or rent a cabin. Don't take your family, friends, or company retreat just anywhere. Make it unforgettable at Historic Banning Mills.
I'm Wayne Willis, Mayor of Weaver and State Senate candidate. As a career law enforcement officer, I am a true public servant. Just like you, I feel the same struggles working class Alabama faces. Throughout my campaign, I have not taken any money from any PACs, lobbyists, special interest groups, or big business. 100% of the contributions I've received has come from working class people and local small business owners. If you will elect Wayne Willis in the June 5th Republican primary, I can go to Montgomery and answer to only one group, and that's you, the voters.
Volunteers, first down and 10, try to get something going offensively against a tough Gardendale defense. Hand it off Shamari Simmons. He'll bounce off a couple of defenders, take it out for a gain of about 4, sets up a second down and 6. But you see right there, Gardendale, as you said, John, defensively, that's a play that, you know, you see Shamari Simmons get through the initial wave. Usually he's going to bounce it outside and outrun everybody. Gardendale is a very huge defense, but they're so quick as well, especially in the linebacker core.
Yeah, even their defensive linemen, they're big guys, 300-pound guys up front, but they can move.
The give right up the middle. Crossing the 40. That's about the 42-yard line. That is Quentin Knight on that carry. Sets up a third down. So possession down, and this is where I think Coach Horn really wants to focus, is stay on the football field. Don't give up a third down. This is very manageable to get a 2.5 yards, and he wants to see these guys up front create a gap and be able to get some yardage. Wood pitches late out to Garrett. He's in trouble. He'll lose back to the 40-yard line. That time, Javon Wood kept it to the very absolute last moment to pitch it out. As you see right here, as he is hit, launches it out there, but nowhere Garrett could go. And again, you see how this team from Gardendale, we talked about in the first game, how well coached and in position the team was. Same thing right here. They're just getting to where they need to be, and they are really reading this offense.
Yeah, and you can have a play like that, and that'll work against a lot of teams. But with a team that the team speed of Gardendale has, just not going to work. In another simulated punt situation here for Clay Central, is they'll punt it down basically to the 24-yard line of Gardendale. That's where they'll begin their next drive. Gardendale's first 3 drives, 2 of those have ended in touchdowns. So they've been very efficient offensively here. They'll actually place the ball closer to the 25. Be interesting to see as we move deeper into this quarter. Keep in mind, Clay Central's already played a lot of football here. Let's see what happens to them as we get into perhaps the latter stages here of this quarter if they substitute. And then Gardendale, you know, this is only the second quarter for them, so we'll see. Interesting to see the substitution patterns as we get into the latter part of this quarter.
Crowder still in there, gives it off to Henson. He'll try the right side, but good play that time. Davion Phillips, as he will track down Henson. Loss, actually a gain of about a half yard, sets up second down and long. But we've seen running backs of Wright, Brooks, and now Hunter Henson for Gardendale. This time quick screen out there, broken tackle, and McNeely will finally wrap him up at about the 32-yard line. But once again, that is going to be Lewis on the reception.
Big time moves by Lewis.
Yeah.
Watch these moves right here. First, move on that defender, sheds him, sheds that one before finally being wrapped up over there. And that is there's a couple of big time moves by a high school wide receiver.
So third down and short. Henson hitting the backfield. Shakes the first defender. He will be dropped at the line of scrimmage, so the Vols get a stop there. Sets up a fourth and about a yard.
See what Coach Eads does this time. He's at his own 34-yard line, basically. Probably less than a yard to get the first down on fourth down. Will he go for it or punt it away? It looks like they are not taking any hesitation whatsoever that they're going to go for this.
Fourth down and a long yard. Crowder with the shotgun. Sends a man. Oh, that's going to be false start over on the outside. Stephen Lewis jumped the gun a little bit. That'll cost him 5.
I was just bragging on Lewis and what great moves he had out there wide receiver, and then makes a bad move there, a false start, and that's probably going to change the decision-making process from Coach Eads here. Is now instead of fourth down and a yard, 4th and 6. So it looks like we may have a simulated punt, even though no signal yet officially.
They'll move the
Gardendale. Gardendale doesn't have any players on the field right now.
Yeah, so they're going to have to do something. They may start the clock and –
of course, if you're going to do a simulated punt, technically, Tom, you don't have to have anybody out there.
There you go.
Yeah. So there you go.
So that will move it forward.
35-yard punt with nobody on the field.
I have a question as far as you see one of the coaches for Central Clay going out, and you see the volunteer marching band there. They are working
having a good time today.
They're working their way into midseason form. Let me just tell you.
They have not slowed down. They were here, started to play even at the end of the Cleburne County and Good Hope game, and they have been nonstop ever since out there in the heat.
They have really enjoyed the trip up today. Glad to see bands on hand coming up for this for the Gridiron Challenge and get a little extra practice in and have a good time as well supporting their team. So first down and 10, Volunteers will have it at about the 46-yard line. Looks like starters still in the game offensively for the Vols, as they will hand it to Garrett over on the near side. He can get a couple of yards, but it's going to be about it. Second down and about 8.
I think the Oxford folks and the Pell City folks that perhaps are watching us here this afternoon from JSU Stadium, Tommy, probably have seen enough to know that those games coming up on October 26th and also with the Pell City game on September 14th are going to be some tough matchups with this Gardendale Rocket team.
Well, you talk about that region a little bit earlier, and that is going to be a tough region. Handoff up the middle, that is Jakeem McLemore. He'll pick up a couple. Yeah, let's talk about Central Clay's schedule. How
about that opener?
Yeah, how about that?
This opener has been it's a traditional game. This is not the first time they've played, but Benjamin Russell.
Yeah,
I think there might be a little interest in that game coming up. That'll be at Clay Central.
Of course, Coach Danny Horn moving over from Benjamin Russell, and he'll face his old team there to open things up. Munford in week 2 is a non-region game. Javon Wood, quarterback, steps back, slips one tackle, then he's going to be hit from behind as he'll be dropped back at about the 31-yard line.
That's a loss of 18, and then you get into more of the region play there. You've got, after Ben Russell and Munford in non-region games, you got a game at Springville, Moody at home, then a non-region game at Jasper. That's the former Walker High School. Then you've got perennial power Mortimer Jordan on the road. That'll be a big game. St. Clair County at home. Then you've got Sylacauga. That's been a traditional game for Clay Central, a Thursday night game, which will be on the road at Center Point in Metro Birmingham, and then they'll take on Hanley. That game will be in Roanoke, another non-region game. So not a lot of gimmies there, but that Ben Russell game, he was at Clay County, and there's Gardendale's lineup as they open up with May Jemison. Then Huffman, Pell City, Clay Chalkville, those are all region games. Then a non-region game with Hazel Green. Then defending state champion Pinson Valley and Bo Nix, Shades Valley and Oxford. That's a tough stretch right there. And then Mountain Brook in a non-region game to wind up with a non-region game at the end of the season. So that's a really tough schedule. May Jemison is the team from Huntsville. No more of a basketball school, but last year they really had a good football team in Class 5A up in Huntsville.
Right.
So May Jemison, not the back when they were J.O. Johnson, they were not that good in football and mostly a basketball school. And then last year really made a big jump up as far as competition goes and having a really good team up in May Jemison in football last year.
And talk about, John, you look at Clay Central. Moving from the south to the north, a lot of these opponents are teams that they've never played in the school history.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The entire time that Clay Central has been a school, they've been in 5A in the south, and now they're going 5A to the north. It's better on travel. It's better as far as, I think probably 5A North overall. The whole of North Alabama is a little bit weaker than maybe the 5A South has been. Still some good teams up there, but nonetheless, I think overall it's a positive. I think the folks from Clay Central, you tell me, Tommy, I think they're happy. They're looking forward to being in the north finally.
I think so. I think that a lot of the games are easier access. We'll just go with it from there. I mean, you can hit I-20 and you can hit a lot of those stadiums, and I think they're excited about that. Some of these non-region games are traditional favorites when you talk about the Hanley and Munford matchups. Those are something that Clay has played since they started, so that's going to be a lot of fun for the fans there. But you're taking on some teams obviously that you've never seen before, some places you've never been. But I think the thing as far as travel, I think that it's a much better route for these schools that Clay Central will be playing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a positive. I think the consensus has been that this is a very positive move, and people are looking forward to being in the north half of the bracket. And from media coverage standpoint, they're playing teams they hear a lot about, that they see more coverage on TV 24, what we do with Pigskin Roundup. I think they hear more about the teams that they're playing in the north and in the south.
C.J. Bryant, the quarterback, he'll give it on the right side, and it's going to be Gurley on that carry as he will bring it around the right side. Check that. That's 23 Nick Starks, not 22. And the stop out here made by number 39 for Central Clay, and that is Darius Kelly up to make a tough hit there. So 3rd down, and we'll call it about 5 yards to go for Gardendale. We're at 5:24 and rolling, and some of the younger players getting in the action now as we are in the latter stages of this half of football. Again, C.J. Bryant going to be a 10th grader this fall. And he's going to keep it on the left side in a world of trouble, and he's going to be driven back. Good stop out here, number 11, Dylan Miles. We've called his name several times. He has been in on the action, and he comes up to make that hit there. So 4th down, and now Gardendale will simulate the punt.
And we'll have a heat timeout as well, which these guys need today, that's for sure.
Gardendale on top. They lead 13-0 over Clay Central. We've got 4:58 left here in this second period. And Gardendale taking on Lawrence County to close out this tri-match. We'll be back with more of our coverage of the Gridiron Challenge right after this.
I'm Tim Hodges. For the last 8 years, it's been my honor to serve as the Calhoun County Commissioner for District 2. During my tenure, we've accomplished a lot.
With Tim Hodges on the commission, over 990 new jobs were created in District 2, not to mention the completion of 10 county school enhancements, along with over $6.5 million invested in the district's infrastructure.
We still have more to do, and with your support, we'll get it done together.
Vote Tim Hodges, Calhoun County Commissioner, District 2.
When it comes to great tasting barbecue, nobody does it better than Dad's Barbecue. Dad's Barbecue is slow cooked to perfection, and Dad's menu now includes burgers, shakes, and delicious cheddar muffins. Large groups are always welcome, and Dad's does catering too. And Dad's offers fast, friendly service, and they're kid friendly. Dine in or drive through. Dad's Barbecue, family owned since 1985, with 2 locations in Anniston to serve you.
Some of the younger players in for both teams at this point. You got Clay Yates in there at quarterback for the Vols, and on 1st down, he'll give it off up the middle. And I believe that's going to be Jakeem McLemore. He is wrapped up and dropped. That'll bring up 2nd down and long.
He ran into a sea of white that time. Gain tackling by Gardendale. Just nothing there. Going to wind up losing about 3 yards. Don't forget, coming up after the game, Gerhard Mathangani down the field. Going to talk with the guy that we've talked about a whole lot here in the last hour or so. Going to be talking with the head coach, the new head coach of the Central Clay County Volunteers, Danny Horn, Alabama High School Sports Hall of Fame coach, and Gerhard will check in with him for a few moments after the game here in about 5 minutes.
Yates with a shotgun look. Slow snap. Going to cost him 5. Just everybody moving before the ball ever made its way back there. John, we were talking about some of the younger players in, and I mentioned earlier that 36, Jakeem McLemore, was an 8th grader heading into the 9th. You see number 70 there on your screen, too. That is also another one of his classmates, an 8th grader that is heading into the 9th grade, and that is E.J. Simmons. He is also a large young man, especially when you start talking about 9th graders as far as for Central Clay. So the future of the program, I think, is bright. They've got some players coming in that in 9th grade will be able to help over the next couple of years. But E.J. Simmons could also be one of those top-flight linemen by the time his day is done.
Tommy, you and I are the same age, and I just don't remember any 8th graders that look like that when I was growing up. It's just unreal watching some of these young men.
Yeah, they've got plenty of size, and those 3 guys have really bright future, including the quarterback there, Clay Yates. He'll operate wishbone behind him here on 2nd down. They'll give it on the right side. Bringing it out is going to be number 27, and that is Jalen Woods.
I think all the folks who made their way up here from Clay County, there were a lot of those folks who made their way up here. I think they are going to leave with a good taste in their mouth. I think despite losing this game, they won 1 game, lost 1 game, beat Lawrence County. Barring something unforeseen here, going to probably drop this game to Gardendale, but I think they have seen enough from talent level and just the way the program is heading. I think there's going to be a lot of positivity taking place this summer all throughout Clay County as they get ready for the 2018 season.
Hand off left side, trying to get around the corner and wrapped up. There's going to be a couple of flags coming in on the carry that time. Jadarius Hurd. And And I believe they'll get a face mask over there across the way. But I think you're right, John. I think that this was exactly a way to really whet the appetite of these volunteer fans. And this is something that, as we said earlier, they have not played a spring game in the school's history until today. This is the first time that they've ever taken part. So I think under the new era of Coach Danny Horn, and you've got him coming in. They do a spring game. They're talking about 7-on-7 camps. And I think after what you've seen here today, I think the excitement is high. As Hurd tries to bounce it outside, and they'll get the face mask. And across the way, we see being carried into the locker room over there for Lawrence County. I checked that for Gardendale. That is Jonah Wright. He is being carried after injuring that knee in the early going of this ball game. We see him as he makes his exit to some cooler location. Handoff up the middle. That is going to be Jakeem McLemore. He'll bring it out to about the 49-yard line.
And that's tough to see from Mr. Jonah Wright there. Obviously a talented player. Obviously going to be a big part of this Gardendale team this year at wide receiver. Catches a touchdown pass here in the spring game. Made a great catch. And then just landed awkwardly. No real big hit or anything like that. And just turned the wrong way and landed the wrong way. And apparently not a good situation with his knee or lower leg injury over there. As Gerhard said, they're looking at the ligaments over there. So obviously they think there's going to be a knee problem there. So they'll have an MRI done at some point here in the next couple of days. Certainly want to wish our best for that young man.
Second down, and this time Yates will give it off in the backfield. That just a slow developing play. Gives it off to Elisha McNeil, but looked like some miscommunication because there was just nowhere for him to go. As soon as he took the handoff, he was met in the backfield. It's now third down and long.
Big Cam Boyd there. You see him, number 67. That was like something from wrestling right there. He just picked him up and threw him down to the mat.
We'll stop the clock here with a timeout with 1:48 remaining here in this half of football.
Don't forget we got another half coming up between Gardendale. They'll stay on the field, and Lawrence County will come back out, and we'll have a half between Lawrence County and Gardendale. And then we'll have a full game coming up after that, and that will feature Callaway out of Hogansville, Georgia. Outstanding team. One of the top teams in Georgia of the last several years. And they will take on the Catholic Knights of Montgomery. Catholic, a region champion last year with 16 out of 22 starters coming up from Montgomery. And that will be a full game, and that will wrap up our activities here and wrap up spring training 2018. We'll graduate folks next week and head to Memorial Day and summer, and then we'll be back in August with high school football 2018.
Offensive line there for the Vols. Some of the younger players in there, Riley Milstead. Also Dylan Lightsey in there on the offensive front. Third down, about 9. As Yates will step back, he's got pressure, throws it late down the middle, going to be picked off. Going the far side and slipping one tackle, but then finally being brought down, I believe, on the reception there is number 16, and that is going to be Corey Tamper. Able to get that interception intended for Caden McCain. And instead, Tamper gets it and heads back the other way.
Just threw it up for grabs off balance. No one really there. Nothing but white jerseys deep down the field, as you can see. Receiver fell down. Easy interception. And a pretty nice run back there for Tamper. Brings it back inside the 50-yard line to the 46. Good field position. We'll see what Gardendale can do here with some of the younger guys in the last 125 of this contest.
So first down and 10 for the Rockets. We'll get a few snaps here before we end the Volunteers Day. Quick throw on the outside, miscommunication there. Quarterback in there now, Brody Parks. He looked to the outside and he was reading an out pattern. Instead, it was the fly pattern on the outside. So pass goes incomplete. A flag on the play. Vols had some players running on late. Let's see if they add it to 11 or they will talk to the Vol captain. So evidently this will go against Gardendale. Here with 1:17 remaining. Get the indication here. And a receiver downfield against the Rockets. So still second down and about 10. Handoff up the middle. Not a whole lot of running room there. Jakeem McLemore in on the stop. Also number 26 for the Vols. That is Tyler Ray Staples. So third down, about 9 here.
Gardendale here in the last 50 or so seconds here, if they're going to try to score or just run their offense. Like Lawrence County coming out of the dressing room here. They're for the JSU football team. They're in that home dressing room here. They've been sitting in there in the air conditioning, so they're getting out here trying to get acclimated to the heat again.
End off right side. That's Henson. Goes around the corner, breaks one tackle. They'll say stepped out of bounds at about the 32-yard line. Stop out there. I think Luke Jackson helps to make that stop.
Clock will stop with 26 seconds to go. See if they try to take a couple of shots at the end zone here from the 32-yard line with 17 seconds to go. They started the clock again.
So it's rolling. I don't know if they'll get 2 plays off or not. Well, defense would like to get a stop. There goes Henson, same play to the right side. He is hit and dropped. Out there, Tyler Ray Staples again. Helps to make the stop, and that's going to be it. As we have hit triple zeros here, 13-0. Gardendale gets the win here over the Volunteers from Clay Central. But I'm like you, John. I think that what we've seen here today is enough to really get the Volunteer faithful excited. If you're a Rocket fan, you really got to be excited as well, because that 6A region they're playing in, they're going to be right in the thick of things at the end.
Man, that is that's 2 good-looking football teams right there. It's a good 5A team and a very good 6A team as well. And the 5A team falls to the 6A 13-0. We got about 10 minutes on the clock. We're about 10 minutes away from the start of our next game. But before that, we'll kick it down to Gerhard Mathangani with Danny Horn.
All right, guys, here with Coach Danny Horn. First off, Coach, before we get into the details of your 2 games, let's talk about the return. You obviously carved out a Hall of Fame career at Clay County, and now you're here with Clay Central. First off, talk about the decision to come back and walk us through that process in spring practice.
Well, I mean, I just thought it was, it'd be nice to start my career there and as a head coach in Clay County, and then come back, to the new school. And, I've already had a house there, so it really wasn't that hard decision, although, leaving Benjamin Russell was hard. They did that's a great place to coach, and I'm actually retired. I'm just on contract, so money-wise, it was the same. So, I just thought that at this stage in my career, it was a good move.
Talk about the ball club that you came to coach here. The makeup of it obviously is a really talented group. Talk about some of the things that you worked on in the spring and some of the things you saw today.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to put in a new offense, and it didn't look like we'd practiced a day out here, but it takes time, and we only, in spring, you only got 9 days, and you can't really, we didn't work on our passing game at all. We couldn't, because we just was concentrated on trying to get our timing down with this, and we got a long way to go, but we got some, players that players have been actually working really hard, and it's going to take some time, but we got over the summer to get better there, and we will.
Clay Central moves to the north. Talk about the different opponents you guys have as you face a different set of region opponents.
Well, I don't know, anything about any of them. We just have to, we got a few teams on our schedule that played last year, and we just have to take it one game at a time and just see how it goes.
Final question. Talk about the next few months, what it looks like as you get your guys prepared for the fall.
Well, we're going to work hard in summer, and we're going to get better over the summer, and we're going to work on our passing game a little bit more in the summer and get in conditioning, and hopefully when we start the first Monday in August, we'll be ready to go.
Always good to see you, Coach.
Right.
Continued success. See you down the road.
Thank you, Gerhard Mathangani, along with Coach Danny Horn. And, and I think that's exactly he got to see exactly what he wanted to see today, John. I mean, it's a new team. He wants to see how his players respond to adversity, and I think that is a big key in this ball game here. And Coach Danny Horn, I think, got to experience that today.
I think so. I think this is a good year to play somebody else. I think it was good timing to play somebody else and just kind of see where you stand, especially playing a team like Gardendale. That will tell you pretty quickly what you need to improve on, no doubt.
You see Jonah right there. He was injured in the first period, but not before. He put up an incredible play to get Gardendale on the scoreboard early. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from this game here as Gardendale gets the win. You see right here, Crowder back, throws it down, and there is the great catch, followed by the gruesome injury there to Wright. But again, Gardendale not finished as Jacob Wright goes in for the touchdown. And really the defense all day was just tough to handle. You see the pick late in the ball game by Gardendale. And you talk about it, and you talk about the way that the team that's able to come out here and put something up like that. Defensively, they were just very tough.
Gardendale wins it 13-0 over Central Clay, and Lawrence County on the field. Gardendale has left the building, but they'll be back.
They will return to take on Lawrence County when we continue our coverage of the Gridiron Challenge, brought to you by Dunn's Heating and Cooling.
I'm Tim Hodges. For the last 8 years, it's been my honor to serve as the Calhoun County Commissioner for District 2. During my tenure, we've accomplished a lot.
With Tim Hodges on the commission, over 990 new jobs were created in District 2, not to mention the completion of 10 county school enhancements, along with over $6.5 million invested in the district's infrastructure.
We still have more to do, and with your support, we'll get it done together.
Vote Tim Hodges, Calhoun County Commissioner, District 2.
I got back my smack talk touchdown, hole-in-one, three-point home run, hat-trick pavement pounding, record-setting goal across the finish line. Because Core didn't give up, I didn't give up. And I certainly didn't give in. I'm gonna get back to doing what I love. I'm gonna get back to winning.
When it comes to great tasting barbecue, nobody does it better than Dad's Barbecue. Dad's Barbecue is slow cooked to perfection, and Dad's menu now includes burgers, shakes, and delicious cheddar muffins. Large groups are always welcome, and Dad's does catering too. And Dad's offers fast, friendly service, and they're kid friendly. Dine in or drive through. Dad's Barbecue, family owned since 1985, with 2 locations in Anniston to serve you.
Hello, I'm Bubba Hinton, candidate for Calhoun County Board of Education. My platform is very simple: accountability and expectations. By holding everyone accountable, our students will be better prepared for life after leaving the Calhoun County school system.
Every school board needs a Bubba.
Please vote for Bubba on June 5th.
Vote for Carl Bubba Hinton.
She's supposed to carry to some lady tonight. That's not good. Coin toss right there. You see Lawrence County and Gardendale getting things set as they will finish up, as we're calling it, the tri-match. Lawrence County changing from the white jerseys now to the red jerseys. They'll be out here taking on Gardendale here in just a few moments. And we're trying to figure out the advantage, John, when you talk about this. You've got one team that has played for 2 periods in a row. You've had another that has rested for 2. And you got to wonder which one can get in sync first, but I'm going to tell you, Gardendale, they have really looked well, looked like a very good team in that first game against the Clay Central Volunteers.
I'll tell you one thing, I don't envy Lawrence County right here for this next half of football against this Gardendale team.
Yeah, they look physical on both sides of the football, and again, good size, and they have really performed well. We'll start off, and it looks like we'll get our first look at the Gardendale offense as they will open up things. And Will Crowder, we saw him in the first game, John, and he is a smooth customer back there at the quarterback position for Coach Chad Eads.
Yeah, he is a guy that he just doesn't make many mistakes. He's very good on the rollout. You know, a lot of guys, when they roll out, Tommy, that's one of the hardest passes to throw, is to throw off the run. And this guy he can throw off the run, he can square up and throw back across the green. Some of the hardest things physically to do for a quarterback, this guy makes it look pretty easy. You'll see that here, I think, on this first offensive possession for Gardendale.
And we saw him roll both ways. It's not just right-handed all the time either. He's back in there at quarterback, shotgun. He'll give it off on the right side in a big gap. That is Jacob Wright. He crosses the 40. Now it's about the 44-yard line. Looks like we do not have a chain crew for this game either.
Not as of yet. The officials are going ahead and letting them play. I don't know how that's going to work.
Yeah, I don't either.
And now we see a stoppage in play.
Yeah, they're going to stop and say, hey, we don't have anybody. The chains are sitting at about the 24-yard line.
I think the side judge went over there and he looked behind him to try to, they're always over there saying, chain gang, here's where the ball goes and where the sticks go. And then you looked around and there were no sticks. So we may have a lengthy delay here.
Yeah, Lawrence County will be looking for, since they are considered the home team. Wait a minute, you got a player. How about that? Gardendale player. They look lonely. Gardendale player said, hey, we'll do this.
Well, Gardendale's got enough of them.
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably dressing out 80 or 90 players, but now he's going to hand it off.
Yeah, here we go. They're getting the chains. And, again,
great
effort.
We've got one chain gang guy. At least we've got a stick there now on about the 45-yard line.
We've got some linemen here that, hey,
here we go.
We may sit out for a while and we can rotate the chain gang.
And we got all kind of volunteers working the side. We're bringing some managers up.
Here we go.
Like. Yeah, so.
Yeah, they're flagging them in now, so they'll get things set.
Who doesn't want to be on the chain gang?
They're going to go ahead and give them a first down on that carry to the 45-yard line. So now, fresh start here with 11:26 as we are just underway here in this half of football. Crowder again on the give. And Wright again on the carry. This time not quite as much yardage. He'll fall forward to about the 47. So we'll say pickup of 2. Second down and 8.
I think that's exactly what happened. The referee was going to wave the chain gang. Yeah. Okay, guys, we got a first down. Let's go. Let's move.
Yeah.
Looked behind, and there's
no one to wave.
No one to wave.
So first down and 10, or check that, 2nd and 8 now. Crowder with his first pass here in this half, and he's got his man out there, and another big gain across the 45 and down to the 43-yard line. And that is Lewis, and he has really played well in this outing here this afternoon. But Crowder, again, gets it out quickly, gets it right on the money.
Another impressive drive. This is what we saw with Gardendale in the first 2 possessions against Clay Central. They're very impressive drives. We got a flag on this one.
And that's something that really a lot of folks don't understand, but Crowder delivering that quick screen out there. You want the ball out there quickly, but you do not want the receiver to have to adjust at all. He needs to catch it right in his hands immediately and be able to turn it upfield. If he has to go back by a yard, it kills the momentum, things like that. But Crowder, these are little things that good quarterbacks do, and you see that here in Will Crowder.
Tommy, you make a good point there because – armchair quarterbacks sitting at home think that a screen pass, well, that's an easy pass to throw. Not so much. That's really a pretty difficult throw if you do it right. Look at that throw.
Fade pattern out there intended for Lewis, just off the fingertips.
Going back to the chain gang, maybe we need to go ahead and alert somebody from Montgomery Catholic or Callaway.
Might want to let someone know that they will be responsible.
Some volunteers.
There you go. So second down and about 5, actually. After the penalty moments ago. Crowder back to the run. Wright lowers a shoulder, and he'll take it to looks like the 35-yard line, shy of the first down, but sets up a 3rd and 2. As you said, Gardendale looking just like they did to open up the game against Clay Central with a good mix of pass and run. Hand off again, and first down yardage by Wright. Takes it to the 31-yard line. They'll keep the drive alive.
Here's Jacob Wright's going to be a workhorse this year for Gardendale. Again, a very nice hole being opened up by that big, massive offensive line of Gardendale. And they just keep moving the sticks, first down after first down, and the drive stays alive for the Rockets.
So first down and 10, Crowder back to the air. Again, kind of a delayed snap. I believe that'll get him for 5 yards there. As players moved a little early, and it's going to bring up a first down 15.
He brought a player in motion, and he turned up the field and may have turned up the field a little bit early. He was going on a flare pass. They were going to flood this side over here with wide receivers, and it looks like he may have turned up the field a little bit too soon, and there's the false start.
So first down and 15, 4 wideouts, 2 to either side for Crowder. High snap, hands it off up the middle, and tough running down to the 30-yard line for Bailey Parsons. We have seen Parsons at a wideout kind of an H-back. That time he gets the carry. And he'll pick up positive yardage and sets up now 2nd and 9.
Parsons is what we call a utility player, a guy that can play a number of positions. See him playing tailback, a little fullback, a little H-back, a little tight end, a little receiver.
Crowder rolls left. Now going to tuck it under and try to run. He'll slide at about the 25-yard line. Good decision there. There was nobody open. Credit Lawrence County defense for really blanketing those wide receivers. Nowhere to go with the football. And Crowder gets what he can. Sets up a 3rd down. Manageable, about 4 yards to go.
It's the same play they tried to run when they had the motion penalty, when Owen Cups came in motion, then quickly turned it upfield. And they're trying to do there is fill this whole side and create a mismatch and have a number more wide receivers than there are DBs over here. But Lawrence County did a good job of diagnosing that. There's a face mask most likely. There it comes, all kinds of flags. I think every referee that has a yellow flag threw it on that. That was pretty obvious, even to us way up here a couple of 100 feet away.
Yeah, Jacob Wright takes the handoff, goes right side. They got the hand all up in the face mask, and he's still able to shake that and pick up yardage down to about the 12-yard line. So then all the laundry came flying in from the officials. They'll get the personal foul, and that's going to move it down deep into Lawrence County territory, into the red zone to about the 6. You see right there.
Now that's one so easy even I can make it, Tommy. I can make that call.
And nothing malicious there. Hunter White, he's just trying to get him down and just went a little high and got the hand up in the grill. So 1st and goal, Gardendale. At about the 6-yard line. 3 wide outs to the near side. 2 will go to the far. Crowder looks to the sideline. Still plenty of time on the play clock. They'll bring Parsons into a tight. There's confusion. They may have to use a timeout here. They're down to 10. Nope. Get everything set, and Crowder's going to take it and give it on the left side. And Wright will fight and dive down to about the 2-yard line. As we said in the first game, Gardendale with plenty of offensive weapons.
They have got a bevy of wide receivers, good number of running backs. Even their backup backup quarterback, pretty good-looking athlete.
Mm-hmm.
Then you've got good tight ends or H-backs, whatever you want to call them there, slot receivers.
And off to Wright, and he's holding the football up.
That's dangerous.
Wow. He just held it up above the crowd trying to lay it out over the goal line. You see right here, he gets in this crowd. He is stopped. Now watch him. He will take it, stick his hand up, hold up. I got it.
He knows that we have instant replay time.
Yeah, he was.
I know that's what he's thinking. There's instant replay. If I can just put the benefit of the doubt in there, well, I might get a call on instant replay.
So on 3rd and goal, he'll get the call, and this time he will walk in or check that. That is going to be Brooks. Wright does not get the touchdown, even though he was tried for it on the play before. And this time Brooks finishes off the drive, and 6-0, Gardendale gets the lead. It's a good little hole up the middle. He's going to run through arm tackles. You see the strength in the legs of Jason Brooks.
We mentioned the depth and the number of guys they've got at wide receiver and running back and even at quarterback. What's really impressive is the depth they have along the offensive and defensive fronts as we bring the left-footed kicker on.
He'll put it right through there. A good kick that time by Urbick out of the hold of Crowder. So 7-0, our new score. It's Gardendale. Offensively today, only a couple of times they've been stopped. They have been able to move the football here at JSU today.
They really have been very, very impressive. And keep in mind, this is without likely their best wide receiver who went out with that injury that we talked about in that last game against Central of Clay County. So that makes it even more impressive. It has turned into an absolutely gorgeous day here in Jacksonville. It's warm, it's humid out there. We got a nice little southwest breeze blowing through though, and there's just some high puffy clouds, and that is about it. Only about a 1 in 3 chance of a pop-up shower this afternoon. Hopefully that will be done. We will be done before that happens later on this afternoon.
So offensively, Lawrence County takes over. Pass from Blankenship out here in the flats to Tanner Hood. He is hit immediately. He'll lose about a yard, brings up 2nd down and 11. That time, as we talked in Crowder, delivering the screen pass right on the money. That time you saw Tanner Hood have to climb the ladder a little bit to get it, throws the timing off. By the time he pulls it in, the Gardendale defender all over him. That'll lose a yard. So 2nd and long now for Blankenship and the Red Devils.
Second chance to look at Lawrence County today. They played Clay Central for a half, took about an hour or so off, and now they're back again.
There's Boyd on the carry. Good move in the hole. He'll bring it out to about the 38-yard line.
Boyd's a good-looking running back for the Red Devils. Made a nice move. Shuffled his feet there, danced into the hole, and able to pick up about 4 yards.
So we're going to call it 3rd down, and we'll say about 6 yards to go. This is Lawrence County's first possession of this game, trailing 7-0. So 7-0 our score. Gardendale leading over the Red Devils here. Blankenship rolls out left side, throws it, and nobody home. That time he rolled out to his left, turned the shoulders, threw it out in the flats, and came up shy. So now Lawrence County going to be forced to simulate the punt and move it forward 35 yards. 5:29 left here in the first period. And tell you what, if you're Coach Dutton, the last thing you want to do is give it back to this offense that you've seen from Gardendale all day, because as we said, they have a bevy of running backs. They've got some great-looking receivers, and they have really put on a show here today offensively. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll get our second look at the Gardendale offense. They lead 7-0 as we continue our coverage of the Gridiron Challenge right here, brought to you by Dunn's Heating and Cooling.
The Calhoun County Spring Jam is brought to you by Dunn's Heating and Cooling. For great residential and commercial service, upfront pricing, and dependable Bryant Heating and Cooling products, call Dunn's Heating and Cooling. Visit their showroom on Pelham Road South in Anniston. Give them a call or visit online at dunnsheatingandcooling.com.
I'm Wayne Willis, Mayor of Weaver and State Senate candidate. As a career law enforcement officer, I am a true public servant. Just like you, I feel the same struggles working class Alabama faces. Throughout my campaign, I have not taken any money from any PACs, lobbyists, special interest groups, or big business. 100% of the contributions I've received has come from working class people and local small business owners. If you will elect Wayne Willis in the June 5th Republican primary, I can go to Montgomery and answer to only one group, and that's you, the voters.
Back to live action here at Paul Snow Stadium. Good look at Will Crowder there, the outstanding quarterback for Gardendale. He has been very efficient here today. The give on the right side. And lowering a shoulder, running over defenders across the 30 and out to the 31-yard line goes Jason Brooks.
And in this day and time, one of the things that we've seen Gardendale achieve that's really hard to do, and this is what coaches try to get to, is a very balanced offense where you're as good running the ball as you are throwing the football. And they're about 50-50 run pass, and they do both very well.
And keep in mind, this is only the 10th day they've been on the field in the spring, and you get plays like that. Parsons with a catch, and he's carrying defenders for about 10 yards, and he's almost to the midfield stripe to the 49.
That's a great example. First down, your tailback picks up some nice yardage, 5 or 6 yards. Second down, you go across the middle to your tight end. Tight end, big guy, breaking tackles, dragging players with him. Picks up about 10 extra yards, gets down close to midfield. So, again, that balance in place, in that on the first 2 plays of this series.
So first down and 10 for the Rockets. Back to the run they go. Breaking a tackle. Goodness, what a run. And we're going to get forward. Looks like Jason Brooks will carry it down to about the 42-yard line. Look at this move now. They've got him by the leg, and he will just not be denied. He spins away from those 3 and then breaks that tackle.
8 red jerseys, 8 Lawrence County players that at one time had a hand on him on that 9-yard run.
Crowder, then back to the air again. Got a little bit of pressure this time. Rolls out to the right side, and he's going to get close to first down yardage. Let's see. They'll say, nope, back to the line of scrimmage, so it'll set up a 3rd down a yard.
And again, he has got very deceptive speed, does Crowder at quarterback. We've seen him earlier here in this spring Gridiron Classic. I mean, he has had a tremendous amount of opportunities to be flushed out of the pocket, and he shows great wheels when he gets out in the open field.
So now 3rd down and a yard. Hands it off up the middle, and tough yards. But a good gain, Jason Brooks. He'll get inside the 40 to about the 38-yard line.
And Gardendale just toggles back and forth. Run one play, pass the next. Run one play, pass the next. You really don't know what's coming, and they are equally adept at both of those.
So 3:36 remaining here in this first period. Gardendale on the drive again at the 38-yard line. Last play on the ground. Let's see if they go back to the air as they have been alternating. And yes, they will. Back is Crowder. Throws it in the flats. What a catch made out there. Again, that is Lewis. Stephen Lewis, if he was not one of the top targets for the fall, he will be after today. And that's probably about his 5th catch. And you watch right here. Crowder delivers a bullet, but watch him catch it with his hands, just spear it out of the air. A great catch out there by Lewis.
And again, we've only seen so far, we've only seen through pretty much 3 quarters, maybe one bad throw from Crowder.
Yeah, that's right. Back to the ground they go.
There's another flag on the play coming in at the last moment.
Brooks down to the 25, but a flag on the play.
See what this is. This was right as the tackle was made right at the end of the play.
Yeah, you talk about Crowder. This is, how about you're going into your 10th grade year and you've already got 2 years of starting as a quarterback under your belt in 6A football.
It's amazing, and this guy's a tall guy. He's still got a lot of growing to do. That was a face mask penalty. Whistled against Gardendale, so they'll whistle against Lawrence County, I should say. So they will tack on a few more yards, and that puts them effectively back in the red zone, or the Rockets.
Crowder drops back, throws the fade pattern out there. Got a man. Did Henson make that catch? Check that, Lewis. And yes, he did. My goodness. Stephen Lewis, as we said, has been making plays all afternoon. And you watch this pass right here. Crowder is right on the money, puts it the only place he can for a completion, and Lewis just climbs the ladder and plucks it out of the air. My goodness, what a catch.
And we saw Lewis, and this is almost like the pass that Wright caught when he had the injury. Going up to get it, comes down. I kind of held my breath and thought, boy, I hope he doesn't land wrongly as well. But they've got receivers that not only run great routes, but they go up at the highest point and climb the ladder, as you said, and bring it down. And another great point you made is Crowder. There was one spot on the field that he could throw it where his receiver has a chance and the DB doesn't, and that's exactly where he put it, in the corner of the end zone, in that northwest corner here at JSU Stadium.
So Gardendale picking up right where they left off. They lead 14-0 with 2:50 left in the first period over Lawrence County. A couple of impressive drives to open up this half of football, just like they had against the Clay Central Volunteers in the game before this one. Ball's at the 35-yard line. We'll get a second look at Austin Blankenship and the Lawrence County Red Devil offense, as they've got it 1st down and 10. 2 wideouts either way. Boyd back behind Blankenship. And on 1st down and 10, Boyd gets the give, and he is met in the backfield. He'll carry defenders forward for about a yard, sets up 2nd down and 9. You saw both ends crashing in for Gardendale, and they were able to meet right at the ball carrier. So those defensive ends are crashing hard for the Rockets.
Again, that defensive front, not only, they've got a lot of size on that defensive line, but the athleticism, I think, is what's even more impressive than the size. And these guys, when they snap the ball, the first move, that first step they have, these guys are athletes.
Flip it out here, and it's going to be almost picked off. Tried the quick screen out here, and reading it all the way was Justin Parks, the sophomore. He cuts in front of the defender, has his hands on it, and he would have had a pick 6 if he hauls that one in.
All 3 of those defensive linemen we talked about, as soon as the ball was snapped, those guys were past their defender and in the backfield, in the face. And then, of course, jumping the route over here was Parks, which was a good decision, almost resulted in a pick 6, and now it's 3rd down and long for Lawrence County as we approach the 2-minute mark here in this first quarter of this last half of the Trimaster, or the tri game that we're going to have.
So 3rd down and 9. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Blankenship rolls out left, tries to throw it in the flats, and Nobody home, incomplete, and Red Devils going to have to punt it away again.
And again, tremendous pressure that time by Gardendale, bringing folks from everywhere. Not only the linemen, they brought some of the linebackers that time on a blitz, and Lawrence County will punt it away with a simulated punt of 35 yards.
Tell you what, if you're Blankenship, you don't have a lot of time to check down. I mean, you look at your primary receiver and the pressure is on you so quickly, you pretty much just got to get rid of it.
Be an interesting conversation that we'll have coming up with after the game. Gerhard, Math, and Ghani going to be down there. We're going to talk with, we've been talking with one coach after each of these with this rotation we've had. We talked with Danny Horn, and we talked with the head coach at Lawrence County, and we're going to talk with the new head coach of Gardendale coming up after this game, and I'll be very interested to see some of his comments about the talent that he inherited up there in North Jefferson County.
Yeah, I tell you, this is a very good-looking football team in Class 6A. So they'll take over offensively at their own 31-yard line after the simulated punt.
How many coaches, Tommy, step into you're a new head coach and you get a job and say, well, coach, here's your players you're going to have right here. Yeah. You get a team like this.
That's a great team meeting to go to, isn't it? The give on the right side, that is Henson. He will spin and pick up a couple.
Lawrence County hanging in there, obviously outmanned a bit. The size differential is obvious. Yeah. Look down the line of scrimmage there, but Lawrence County playing hard out here in the heat, and they held that to only a 2-yard gain. So Lawrence County playing hard, and I think they're going to be a team that's going to be dealt with up in Northwest Alabama before the season is over. Playoff team last year.
Good play defensively there. They crash in and get Henson in the backfield. Good stop in there. Number 34 for Lawrence County. And that is going to be Zach LeMay, only a sophomore, but he came in there with a vengeance. Made a good stop. 3rd down and about 8. Crowder with a shotgun look, down to about 28 seconds left in this first period. And Crowder's back, throws it in the flats, got his man out here. Catch is made. And stepping out of bounds at the 49-yard line is Colt Belcher, another outstanding wide receiver for Gardendale.
One thing you notice about these Gardendale wide receivers, not only a lot of them, they really run. Been watching these guys away from the football, and they run outstanding routes. A lot of anytime you see separation like he had right then, you can bet that the wide receiver ran a really fine route.
So back to the run, handoff right side, and Henson's got room, breaks the tackle, 40-yard line, 35, 25, and finally wrestled down at about the 20-yard line. Another good running back, Hunter Henson, as he's able to pick up big yardage there. And Gardendale knocking on the door again, but that is the end of the first period. When we come back, it'll be second period action, 14-0, our score. It's been all Gardendale here pretty much all afternoon as the Rockets are really playing well. We'll continue our coverage in just a moment of the Gridiron Challenge right here on TV 24.
The Calhoun County Spring Jam is brought to you by Dunn's Heating and Cooling. For great residential and commercial service, upfront pricing, and dependable Bryant Heating and Cooling products, call Dunn's Heating and Cooling. Visit their showroom on Pelham Road South in Anniston. Give them a call or visit online at dunnsheatingandcooling.com.
Hello, I'm Coach Scott Martin. I'm running for Calhoun County Commissioner of District 3. I bring to you character, leadership, and commitment. Character, to do the right thing. Leadership, 32 years of public service. And commitment, making sure I do what is in the best interest of all citizens of Calhoun County. Your vote is important, and I need your vote, so please come out June 5th and vote Coach Scott Martin, Calhoun County Commissioner, District 3.
Hi, my name is Reverend Jeffrey C. Williams, the owner and licensed funeral director of Anderson Funeral Services. At Anderson Funeral Services, we are compassionate and caring individuals committed to providing quality and professional service at affordable prices. We are where service begins and never ends, and love is what love does.
Anniston Funeral Services offers affordable services to meet any need for all families. Anniston Funeral Services, 630 South Wilmer Avenue, where service begins and never ends.
I am Marilyn Hudson, a Christian grandmother, mother, and wife. When folks find themselves in family court, they are at a low point in their lives, overwhelmed by all the courtroom drama. I may not be politically correct, but I feel that sometimes instead of turning to the lawyers, some families would be better off turning to Christian counseling. As a judge, I will do everything in my power to help families. Please elect me, Marilyn Hudson, as your family court district judge.
The Calhoun County Spring Jam is brought to you by Dunn's Heating and Cooling. For great residential and commercial service, upfront pricing, and dependable Bryant Heating and Cooling products, call Dunn's Heating and Cooling. Visit their showroom on Pelham Road South in Anniston. Give them a call or visit online at dunnsheatingandcooling.com.
You see the steeple there of the First Baptist Church of Jacksonville, and again, a beautiful setting here. And John, we talked about, again, the tornado recovery continuing here for these great folks of the city of Jacksonville.
You know, you come up to Jacksonville every day and you see these, it's become a daily occurrence. You see these big, huge trucks that are going through town, taking off debris still 2 months later, especially in that area over there around the First Baptist Church of Jacksonville, that neighborhood where we showed you that church right behind there is the neighborhood that kind of took the direct hit from the tornado, and there's just a lot of damage over there. And the tree damage here was incredible, not only in campus but off campus as well. And as we said earlier, you know, this is 2 months from today. Right. 2 months ago from today is when they had the tornado, and they're still working. They're out here on Saturdays with these big trucks hauling off debris, and that's going to continue for a while.
That's right. You know, it's going to be a long time to recover, and again, we want to continue to support the folks here at Jacksonville, and as they try to recover from that tornado back a couple of months back. Lawrence County trying to get something going offensively, so they're going to turn to Xavier Boyd, back-to-back runs, and he's able to find his way across the 45 to the 46-yard line.
And we talk about tree damage. Obviously, we are not using that truck today. Mike Hathcock and his fine crew out there, they're missing that. That's the truck that was basically demolished and destroyed that's directly from the tornado. That big truck falling over there at Self Hall on the truck, and that's part of the tremendous damage there. We're in another truck, a smaller truck, and our guys are doing a great job with it. But just the level of devastation here in this town, just story after story like that, of things that people don't even think about that happened because of the tornado.
Lawrence County trying to get something going offensively. Blankenship again flips it out to Boyd, and a great run after the catch picks up another Red Devil first down. So Xavier Boyd, 3 straight plays, able to make some things happen.
And that's probably the most recognizable landmark for folks that are not familiar with Jack State, maybe watching from Gardendale or up in Moulton. That is the 12-story library here at Jacksonville State University, and you can see that's a substantial building, but they even took damage over there at the Houston Cole Library, and you see still trying to get that fixed up 2 months later.
Bobble on the snap, and then a throw to the sideline, going to be incomplete.
Hey, we may have a challenge coming up here. That would be a good one. That's a bang,
There's
bang
the red
play.
flag out already. Going to toss it out.
There it is. Lawrence County.
Rich Dutton says, let's look at that. And you know, the thing about it was it looked like it was going to be the pretty much the zone read play. Blankenship drops the football. It goes right around the back. He's able to pick it up and still get the throwaway out here in the flat. So it's going to be fun to see if this one, if he gets his foot in. You see that, and then you roll out.
We're going to have a good look at it.
That's Dutton throwing it, actually, and the catch out here. Will it be made? He's trying to drag that
I think
foot.
That's a
oh, that's close.
Wow.
That is close.
Now, they tell me, and I'm learning something new every day about instant replay. They tell me that once the season starts, and I don't know if they're implementing this today, that they're going to put a time limit. The officials have 2 minutes.
Right.
They have 2 minutes. A lot of times we watch these college games, and those guys go over there and they take forever. But
wow, they're coming back already.
Yeah, they're coming back already. So
let's see. They took a quick look at that one.
This is the shortest review we've had. But they do have if you are at a game this fall, keep in mind they'll only have 2 minutes, and then the referees have to make a decision. And we'll see what's going on here.
He says that it is an incomplete pass. I guess the
So that was a quick look. I think he was there maybe 10 seconds. We'll look at it again here and see. I think they're saying by the time he had possession, he was way out of bounds. He did have that foot in, but I don't think he had the ball when he had the foot in.
I don't think so. That's a bang-bang play, but I think they got that right.
And I'm telling you, Tommy, I'm not used to doing this in high school football. We're not used to analyzing plays and whether they're inbounds or out of bounds. We just never do that in high school much.
Hutto has the possession, and he got wrapped up, and he is grabbing a leg.
Oh, man.
That was not nothing malicious. He's pointing down to his lower leg. And
man, that's another rough-looking play right there. We talked about earlier with the young man Wright from Gardendale and how gruesome that looked, and this one is going to be equally as tough to watch on Mr. Hutto here.
Yeah, he goes down, his leg's down, and then he got hit and just kind of rolled over everybody. The foot was was pinned. There was really nothing he could do, and to get that leg out, and obviously in some severe pain by the time that play was over, as they had tackled him, and then the other two defenders were just coming over, and as the pile just kind of mowed over him, and that leg was pinned.
And it was pinned for a few seconds till they could get everybody off there. That's what I think made it so bad in my eyes. You just want. We have seen two. Unfortunately, we have seen two today. I love high school football, but it's tough to watch the two plays we have seen here today.
Yeah, he's still on the field out there. They're checking him out and
he's
working with the knee and the lower leg. Again, this is Ty Hutto, a 6'2" junior. Will be a junior this fall.
And unfortunately,
Yeah, we're going to take a timeout and let the training staff do their job out here with Hutto, and we'll pause right here with 8:42 left in the first half. 14-0 Gardendale on top. We'll continue our coverage in just a moment of the Gridiron Challenge.
Hello, I'm Bubba Hinton, candidate for Calhoun County Board of Education. My platform is very simple: accountability and expectations. By holding everyone accountable, our students will be better prepared for life after leaving the Calhoun County school system.
Every school board needs a Bubba.
Please vote for Bubba on June 5th.
Vote for Carl Bubba Hinton for Calhoun County Board of Education.
I got back my Smack Talk touchdown hole-in-one three-point home run, hat-trick pavement pounding record-setting goal across the finish line. Because Core didn't give up, I didn't give up. And I certainly didn't give in. I'm gonna get back to doing what I love. I'm gonna get back to winning.
Third down play here. Blankenship back in, throws a screen back on the other side of the field. It is caught by Boyd and nowhere to go. He is going to be buried. Well played defensively. They tried to go all the way across the field and give it to their most explosive back, but Boyd nowhere to run. It's going to be fourth down.
I was about to say before the break, unfortunately, our camera crews are very good because they have caught great shots of both of those injuries. I say that unfortunately because we have had to look at both of those, but man, great shots by our crew getting those injuries, but they're tough to watch. There's no doubt about that.
The crew does an outstanding job. And again, each and every time I've had the opportunity to come up here and get to broadcast with you guys, there's one thing you can count on: the great shots and great production crew every time. So not surprised that they've turned out another great performance here today. It's fourth down and long now for Lawrence County. They're going to need a great performance here on fourth down to try to pick this one up, so they throw it deep. And it is going to be a battle for it at about the 15-yard line. Two guys going at it. I believe they're going to get offensive pass interference here because, as you see right here, just kind of fluttered out of Blankenship's hands. And the offensive player, as they continue to push, and I believe they're going to get Jacob Little with a push there, and that will turn it back over to Gardendale.
And a little bit of words being exchanged back here at the line of scrimmage between both teams.
Pass interference. Actually, they will call it on Gardendale.
Yeah, Jacob Little from Lawrence County, but going to be called for the pass interference number 5. And so that
That will give them a first down. So Blankenship will stay on the field. Let's see. As they are down here on the side, and they will move it forward, so the penalty will be whistled against Gardendale. And that will move it down to the 31-yard line.
I think I have seen the most unique water person maybe I've ever seen on the Lawrence County sideline. The outfit is like none I have ever seen.
Well, he's
going out on the field right now.
Oh, yeah, he's going to be referred to as that guy. And
we don't want to say water boy because I don't think he's a water boy. But
we spotted him early in the day, and he has put in the effort over here for Lawrence County. And
he's out in the huddle right now, and he has a hat. He has on some boots, and I'm not exactly sure.
There you go. I mean, he is.
Well, it speaks for itself right there. And the boots, you got to see the boots.
The boots really set it off.
The boots kind of. I'm not a fashion person,
there
but the boots kind of make the outfit there.
They do.
That is kind of the. They might say in the fashion business, that's the finishing touch to that outfit.
Yeah, he is. He will be noticed at every stadium they visit this fall.
Doing a great job,
there you
though.
go.
Keeping Lawrence County hydrated with some high-quality H2O.
You ever seen the movie Waterboy?
Oh, that's my favorite movie just about of all time.
I'm thinking
he's going
H2O. I think he's a character from that. I mean, you know, I think he
Some
drew
of that
inspiration.
High-quality H2O.
I think so.
Don't talk about his mama.
No. First down and 10 now. Lawrence County benefiting from the pass interference call. Now they're on the drive at about the 31-yard line.
You might have a power bomb courtesy of Captain Insano.
Of course you would. Awesome. Motion. And looks like Lawrence County jumped in the interior. That'll cost them 5.
Tell me the Waterboy movie is like the Andy Griffith show to me. I can never get enough of watching it.
Well, it's one of those that if we run across it at our home,
it stops.
It's going to, yeah, we're there till the end, till they win the Bacardi Bowl. First down now and about 15 to go. 2 wideouts go right. Blankenship back in there at quarterback after the injury to the backup, Hutto. And Blankenship, quick throw out here. It's going to be caught. And forward back to the line of scrimmage, and that's going to be it. That's, John, we've talked about it all day, and you see it very evident right there. The speed to really go after the offensive players, the angles that this team takes defensively, the pursuit, it's just really, they never stop.
And these are the second line players that are in here, and but the fundamentals, as you said, and the basics are the same.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of talent on this second line too. There's a lot of football teams in the state that would like to have Gardendale's second team.
A give to Boyd, tries to go outside. He is going to be hemmed up and dropped. He'll lose another half yard. And it's going to be 3rd down and long. I believe they're going to take the heat timeout here with 5:50 remaining.
We have
14-0.
Yeah, half of the whole game of football coming up after this, too.
That's right. Plenty of action going all day. Keep it locked right here as we continue our coverage of the Gridiron Challenge. Gardendale leading over Lawrence County 14-zip. Back after this.
The job title is Calhoun County Coroner, but I believe it is so much more than just a job title. Jobs can be taught, but this job requires compassion. Unlike a job, true compassion cannot be taught. This position touches people's lives, and how situations are handled will affect people's lives. I have worked in the EMS field for over 15 years. One of my positive traits is my God-given ability to show true compassion in bad situations. I commit to treat your family just as I would want my family to be treated. It's really just that simple. I'm Tom Slick, and thank you for your vote on June 5th.
Hi, my name is Reverend Jeffrey C. Williams, the owner and licensed funeral director of Anderson Funeral Services. At Anderson Funeral Services, we are compassionate and caring individuals committed to providing quality and professional service at affordable prices. We are where service begins and never ends, and love is what love does.
Aniston Funeral Services offers affordable services to meet any need for all families. Aniston Funeral Services, 630 South Wilmer Avenue, where service begins and never ends.
There's a look at Ty Hutto, still in a ton of pain over on the near sideline for Lawrence County. Injured a few moments ago, and he is really going through a lot of pain at this point. And I'm sure the MRIs and evaluations are coming in a hurry. Third down and long. You see Blankenship drop back, got pressure, steps away from it, steps into the opening, and it closes quickly. That Gardendale defense comes up, and they'll get the stop at about the 31. That brings up 4th and 10. But, John, I tell you, a couple of tough injuries here today. And, you know, a lot of coaches sometimes don't want to play games like this because of the injury aspect, which I'm sure both of these players would tell you this could have easily happened on the practice field last week as well. We'll check in with Gerhard and see what he's got for us, buddy.
All right, guys. Unfortunately, injuries become a big part of the spring. And as you said, Tommy, just a minute ago, that's what every coach tries to avoid. But unfortunately, much like the Jonah Wright situation earlier, it is a knee. They're looking at his left knee. It's the exact same situation, exact same knee as Wright earlier. He was checked out by the trainers. It looks like another situation with his ligament. And the trainer did mention that it was loose. So, again, another possible ACL. They don't know if it's a tear or not. They won't know that until the MRI comes in, but a possible tear there, and he is out for this game as well.
Wow. That's tough, John, and you talk about it as the 4th down pass goes out of bounds. We do have a flag on the play, but, you know, you talk about recovery and how long things take, you know, if in fact it is a torn ACL, John, and that's something that, you know, how much of the season or all the season, how much do you think someone like that could lose this year?
Yeah, and he's the backup quarterback, but, you know, now Rich Dutton is in a tough situation where he had to put his starting quarterback in. He thought his starter was done for the day, and you just don't really want to come back in. He's seen what he knows he's got with Blankenship, who's a returning starter.
Right.
We gave the stats in the first game, what outstanding year he had last year. In the spring, you really don't want to put him back out there again, but he had no choice. I guess he's got 2 quarterbacks, and so he had to put his starter back out there with the second teamers just to have a quarterback, somebody who knew the offense and could operate the offense. So now Lawrence County, obviously, without a backup quarterback.
Give on the left side, not a lot of running room that time. Good play out there. We've called the name of Zach LeMay a couple of times. Going to be a sophomore this fall. He had a couple of good stops there from the linebacker spot.
And it appears, because with that last incomplete pass and so forth, it looks like that they have gone to a running clock.
Right.
We saw that in the Cleburne County Good Hope game. Once they got to the last quarter, the coaches kind of met out there and agreed, let's just go to a running clock, mainly because of the heat situation. And I think we may have seen that here in this quarter as well, as we're going to a running clock here with 3 minutes to go. We do have a whole game coming up. Callaway from Hogansville, Georgia. The Cavaliers will take on the Knights of Montgomery Catholic in a whole game coming up just a few minutes after this one.
C.J. Bryant in there at quarterback for Gardendale. He'll give it off to Brooks. Crashes around the left side. He'll pick up a few yards there and set up 3rd down and long. Talk about that matchup, John. What are you thinking in that last one to wrap up the day?
Well, I'll tell you, Tommy, you and I 2 years ago saw Handley, we called the game, win the Class 4A state championship, and I thought that's one of the more dominating 4A football teams I had ever seen that Larry Strain had down there with just a ton of talent. And they won the championship game. I believe they beat Madison Academy and beat them handily. And that team lost by 2 touchdowns to Callaway. And then Callaway also, as we take a look at one of the teams, and I think that may be Callaway.
It's Callaway, yeah.
And then last year they beat Handley 35-0.
Right.
They're going to open up this year with Opelika. So they're playing they're taking on some of the best programs we've got on the east side of the state of Alabama. And so we're going to see a very good football team coming from Callaway, and also the Catholic Knights. Catholic was a team down in Montgomery. Now, a lot of folks haven't heard a whole lot about them, but Catholic is a team that basically had a region championship last year in Class 4A in Alabama, and they have 16 out of 22 starters back off that team. So it should be an interesting matchup here, but we understand that Callaway has a tremendous amount of talent again. They've put together a couple of back-to-back 11-2 seasons over in Georgia, playing in 5A in Georgia.
Yeah, they are They are a team that every time you talk to someone from Georgia, Callaway always in the conversation.
Used to be called Hogansville High School, and they're in Hogansville, but about 20 so years ago, to 1996, they changed the name to Callaway. Of course, the Callaway name, Callaway Gardens and Callaway Hospital in LaGrange, it's a huge name, and they named them after the school after the Callaway family. So it's only been Callaway High School for about 22 years.
Callaway Golf Clubs.
Callaway Golf Clubs.
All in that family name there in that area. Clock is rolling with about 40 seconds. They simulate the punt, so maybe Lawrence County, a couple of snaps at the most. They may get one, possibly two. They'll stop the clock here.
Don't forget Gerhard Mathangani is going to catch up with the new coach of the Gardendale Rockets, Chad Eads. Talk about his short time already at Gardendale and what looks to be a promising 2018 season for the Rockets.
Yeah, like I said, you got to be excited when you walk into a team meeting and you see these guys sitting there waiting on you. Clock is down to 5. They're trying to stop play so that Lawrence County can get a snap off. They're going to discuss it here. Stopped it with 2 seconds remaining. As after the simulated punt, both teams having trouble getting the personnel on the field that they wanted. And John gives us a chance to thank you for handling with me this afternoon. It's always a pleasure to work with you and get to bring some high school football. And like you and I always say, there's always a day for high school football. And we can do it when it's 90 degrees or when it's 25.
And we've done both, 90 and 25, I think. That's for sure. But I think that we've seen some good football here today. We've seen good football at all different levels, really going back to last Saturday here. We had 6 teams, 3 different games, and then, of course, the Calhoun County Spring Jam the last couple of nights. Seen some good football within the county here. And then today, obviously, with Cleburne County and Good Hope, very competitive game earlier. The 3 teams we've seen here with Lawrence County and Clay Central and Gardendale. I trust we're going to see some more. Maybe the best football still to come here with Callaway and Montgomery Catholic coming.
2 seconds remaining on the clock here. Is that Blankenship in there, quarterback, trying to see? Yes, he is in there, and he's going to just roll out right, throw it out in the flats. Catch is going to be made. Coming across the grain, trying to get a block. Now turning it upfield to the 30-yard line as he'll break 2 tackles. Good, tough running, and finally down to the 25-yard line. That is a great effort by Jacob Little as he will take it down for the final play of the ball game. But 14-0 going to be the final score. Gardendale offensively, we talk about the high-powered offense, but John, their defense is rather stout as well.
Very, very good, very impressive performance. Really about both of these teams. I think Lawrence County will go on and have a nice season. I think Gardendale, big things ahead for them. I think folks in 6A will have their hands full every Friday night with these folks. I think Central Clay County, the 3rd team of this tri-match, so to speak, obviously big things ahead for them in 5A. I think they'll wind up being a top 10 team in 5A. So I think all in all, the 3 teams that we have seen, very, very impressive. And there's some of our fantastic camera folks there.
Man, what an amazing job they do, and we appreciate their efforts dealing with the heat all day today. We've been sitting up here where we get a little breeze every once in a while, a little AC as well, but those guys have been out there in the elements and delivering another outstanding performance here for all of us to try to make us all look good here on this Saturday afternoon.
Absolutely, and we're going to go down to the field now. Gerhard Mathangani with the Gardendale coach.
All right, Coach Eads, at times today you looked in midseason form. Talk about the performance today against both Central Clay and these guys here from Lawrence County.
Well, I told the guys in the locker room I wanted to find out who would play hard. I didn't care about the mistakes, didn't care about what happened other than play hard. Did they play as a team? And that's what I wanted to see. That's what I saw, and I was also kind of shocked we didn't have a lot of mistakes. It's a spring game. It is what it is. But I'm excited after only being there 4 months and having a lot of new coaches. Excited to see what's going on.
That was kind of my next point. You only had a short amount of time, especially on the field, only 9 practices in today. What are some of your initial thoughts of the squad you have here for 2018?
I think it's an athletic group. I think they enjoy being together. They enjoy playing the game, enjoy working out, and those are all the things you ask for. They're excited about the new coaches. Eric Firestone's their new defense coordinator, and the kids are excited about him. He's coming in every day, he's changing shirts in the parking lot, going on the field, and we got 2 other coaches doing the same thing. The kids are excited, and they've learned quick, and I'm excited to have those guys with me.
What did it mean for your guys to come out here in the stadium and play against 2 really quality opponents?
Yeah. Well, you always want to see in the spring what are you how do you compare against other teams? And it's exciting to go somewhere else and play and come to a nice place like this and play.
Final question, what do the next few months look like as you get ready for the fall?
We'll be in the weight room pretty quick. We'll finish up school. They got finals going on, a few more of those. We'll give them a little time off, get back in the weight room, but they don't like to have a lot of time off.
Gardendale Rockets, Coach Eads. Hey, you guys look good. Well, absolutely. Continue success. Guys, back to you.
And that's the thing about it. If you've got a team that loves to work out that much, you've got a recipe for success already.
Yeah, and I think the understatement he said when Gerhard asked him, what kind of team did you think you have here? And he said, well, athletic. Yeah. Speaking of athletic, this bunch from Callaway. Woo! Maybe we should have had Callaway and Gardendale.
I'll tell you what, it's going to be fun the rest of the afternoon, and we'll make way and give a whole new crew an opportunity to come in here. And John, appreciate you putting up with me here this afternoon, and you get a good look at our crew here that's been out there in the elements all day, and appreciate their hard work as well.
Hey, great job from our crew here. A lot of folks behind the scenes making it work, and we've got one more game to go, Callaway and Catholic next year on TV 24.
All right. You see the highlights here, and it's been a big win for the high-powered offense of Gardendale. They look impressive here. Now the hard work begins, and we'll see them back in August. Thanks for joining us here. More football continues in a moment on the Gridiron Challenge.